Hey guys, what's going on? So today we're talking about runes, everything you need to know about runes, my recommendations personally, what you should be looking out for, what you might want to avoid on certain types of characters, all that good stuff. Do keep in mind that this is all just from personal experience, what I found out through my rune adventures, so you can take this with a grain of salt, make your own judgments, opinions, do what you gotta need to do, leave your own thoughts in the comments. If you want to, that's also welcome. So we're gonna go over the basics first. For that, I actually want to go into my rune box. It's easy, you can see all my characters with their equipped runes here. It's all good. You can see the different colors here. So let's start with these two red ones. These two red ones are attack runes. It doesn't really mean anything other than their base stat is always gonna be attack. You can see attack plus 72 here, attack plus 9 there. It's a lower quality rune. On the second one you can see attack here. Okay, so you get the gist of it. Blue ones are always defense and green ones are always additional HP. I probably have some old heroes I equipped that may have a 5-star on them. Just to show off why it's a bad idea to put anything into 5 stars, let's take a look at my Rebecca's 5-star plus 4 blue rune here. Mainly taking a look at the main stat. We get plus 43 defense, you can see that there. Now we have a plus 4 6-star blue rune over here on my May. That gives plus 75. That is almost double the potency there. The substats are also quite a bit higher. Here we have 3.71% multi-strike, and here we only have 2.65% multi-strike. I know, especially if you're not gonna start the game with a half-off rune dungeon and you can just spam that like a lot to get full decked out 6-star runes, it's gonna be hard to not invest in 5-star runes. The point here is to note how big of a difference 5 to 6-star is. Usually there's not a massive one, so you can kind of like, you know, glide on 5 stars for a while until you get the like perfect 6 stars. But in this case, the difference is so massive, I would recommend just going straight for 6 stars if possible, and not really upgrading 5 stars past plus 3. At plus 3, the substats get a bit of a boost. You know, you can get the set bonuses, so it'll be an okay placeholder until 6 stars, but don't put too much into them. Each rune comes with some substats. In the 6 stars case, it will come with 3. Lower qualities will have no substats or less substats. On each of the different runes, you can actually find different substats and different rarities of substats. For example, on these red ones, you know, you can find crit chance, you can find accuracy, you can find HP, attack speed, and critical damage. Attack speed is extremely rare though, so if you do find a rune with even 1 line of attack speed, you save it, save it, save it, as long as it's a 6-star. Over time, you'll get familiar with which substats appear where. Each different rune has 5 different substats that can be on it. Some are more common than others, like over here, I think this one has very common attack stats, so you could find attack on a lot of them. Here's 2 attacks. I have a couple with 3 attacks on them that are probably equipped on my heroes somewhere. But for like over here, for example, attack is still there. It's just a little bit more rare from what I've noticed. It's still definitely there. Accuracy, that's just kind of the opposite of evasion. The more accuracy you have, the higher chance you have to hit someone with a lot of evasion, I guess. Personally, I don't think it's that useful in most situations. So of course, HP increase is very simple to understand. It just means you'll have 2.62% more HP. That's basically it. I think HP is quite superior to defense for the most part, because almost every healer, if not every healer as a matter of fact, recovers your heroes and themselves' HP based on their max HP. So the more HP you have, the more you'll heal anyway. Like, I have a few healers here. Deimos here says restores all allies HP by 35%. Ramu, restore all allies HP by 20%. Rue restores the HP of an ally and 2 adjacent allies by 30%. You get the point. So when I'm going full tankiness with someone like a support or a tank, I do give them some defense as well, because of course if you just have a lot of HP, you're just going to be taking a lot of damage and have nothing to mitigate it with. Additional HP recovery is a little bit more complicated. Just from what it says, I would assume you heal more based on the healing you receive. But if you saw that 249 above Morgan's head, I believe it is also based on that. So if they have some additional HP recovery, they should heal a little bit at the end of all their turns. You can see that little number there. and that's what that is. Whether they get more healing from healers or not, I don't know. So that would definitely be a good stat for naturally high HP tanky units like support characters that you're building quite tanky, and especially tanks. Now we're going to be talking about counterattack and multi-strike. They are both kind of in the same vein. It's, as the name implies, your chance to counterattack when an enemy hits you. You'll just go up to them and use your normal attack. Multi-strike, on the other hand, is your chance to double attack. Again, this is only going to be with your normal attack, and those stats are very good for heroes that have a special thing on their first skill. For example, Ruby's first skill is actually quite powerful. Not damage-wise, but there's a 40% chance to decrease skill 2's cooldown by 1 turn, where one of her level 60 talents will kick in, restoring 20% of her HP. Which one's better? That would mostly depend on the situation you're in and what hero it is. Claude, for example, he would definitely benefit more from counterattack, because he is taunting a lot, so it means he's going to be getting hit the most in a lot of cases, definitely more than he's going to be attacking himself. So Counter Strike on Claude, if you want this first skill passive to proc, would be good. There are many different sets, but we're just going to be going over the basic ones you can farm in the Rune dungeon, which will be the agility set, the speed set, destruction set, rage set, revenge set, life set, assault set, and protection set. Starting with the Rune of agility, this is really only for the most hardcore PvPers. I think once they have found those perfect runes that have all the attack speed they could ever want, this is the only way to get more attack speed. And when this is the only way to get more attack speed, to be able to attack first in that battle, this is what they're going to be using. You know, 5% for a 4-set bonus is horrible, but if you need that extra little push to be able to have your guys go first, that's what it takes. The speed set's pretty simple. You get a 20% multi-strike increase. Again, this is one that I don't really recommend personally. If you do have a special hero that really benefits from multi-striking and they have like something op about their first skill, or that's where they get 90% of their power, then hey, could be good. Personally, I'd rather just give them the Rage set, which is my pretty much go-to set for all DPS. So the Revenge set, similar of course, it's just counterattack instead of multi-strike. In the same vein, the same thing. The cool thing about this one is it is a 2-set, so you could potentially have it along with the Rage set since you do have 6 rune slots. So this one definitely is a bit more versatile. Here we have a 5% crit chance set. This would obviously be good for a crit focused hero, one you are planning on investing a lot of crit into, one that benefits from crit in some way, that has skills that rely on crit, like this new Tayo hero. He is like all about crit. Yeah, it's pretty simple. You get 5% crit chance. 2-set, so it's nice, it's versatile. Again, in the same vein, we have the crit damage set. This is actually more potent than the crit chance set, if we compare substats, that is. Next, of course, we have the rage set. This is my go-to set for like every DPS, which is a lot. It's a straight 20% attack increase. There's nothing more to say there. It'll increase their attack power. I like this because there's no RNG involved here like there is with Counter-Strike, Multi-Strike. It's not a chance to do such things. It's 20% more attack, period. My other go-to set for almost everyone actually is the life set. 10% more HP, it's a 2-rune set, fits along nicely with the Rage set. I'll show you how I build my Morrigan and some other of my heroes later, and you can agree or disagree that I built them right or wrong, whatever. And of course, we have the other side of the coin, the 10% defense increase. This is going to be for your tanks, for your supports, to put alongside the HP to make them more tanky so they can keep reviving or keep healing, whatever they need to do. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the basic set bonuses. Like I said, I built my Morrigan with the Rage set and the Life set. My Rage runes are spread quite thin because I put them on all DPS pretty much, unless I'm going for a crit focused hero. So you can see I have the attack speed here. I definitely want her to go first to try and see if I can get that unable to be revived debuff on the enemy and just straight get rid of someone. Here we have a bit more HP. 2 more accuracies. It's really hard to escape those when you are, again, spreading your life runes quite thin. Here we have the next Rune of Rage with 2 HP increases and an additional HP recovery. This one isn't perfect, but this is another rune that's really hard to get offensive substats on. They're just rarer. Here, on the other hand, we were able to find a triple attack Rune of Rage, which was really nice. Decided to throw that on Morgan. Here's another nice one with 2 attacks and a counter attack. And finally, the last one with attack, multi-strike, and crit damage. The crit damage is kind of useless here. Yeah, best one I had at the time. So on someone like Ruby, I really tried to focus on HP increase because she can heal herself a lot 20% of her own HP gets recovered when her level 60 talent procs, so that was quite important for me. And I honestly wanted to get her attack speed lower on purpose, so Morgan would go first so I could see what is going on, if I can make them unrevivable or not. Ruby has a very unnaturally high attack speed. Starting off at 599, she gets plus 10 from, I think, the first purple star there, so I really had to try and avoid giving her any attack speed. So I went ahead and gave her a triple HP increase instead, because I'm really just going for attack, HP, and multi-strike and counter-attack with her. You can see I couldn't avoid a crit chance there for whatever reason. Here we got multi-strike and counter-attack. Counter-attack, 2 attacks, that's nice. Attack, counter-attack, and an evasion for whatever reason. And 3 multi-strikes. On the other end, we have someone like Rue, where she's going to be built very defensively. I choose to go 2 life sets and a defense set. I think that's nice and well-rounded. Here we just have 2 HPs, an accuracy, 3 HPs, that's good. 3 more HPs. Multi-strike and counterattack aren't bad on her either, because she has a nice effect on her first skill. Pretty sure the last green rune only has offensive substats. So you saw some examples of my heroes and the runes I decided to give them along with their substats. Of course, they're not perfect. So when you found some pretty good runes and you want to enhance them, when it comes time to enhance, I always sort of have a rule in place here: 6. If they're at least a decent rune that you could use on like a side hero or something, you could unequip them later, you can get them to 6, they'll get 2 substat bonus increases, as well as their main stat will increase on every level, and 6 is still very cheap to get to. Going to 9, however, is only for a rune you imagine yourself keeping for a while. This one, for example, wasn't very good, but I wanted my Morrigan strong, so I went ahead and got it to 9, which is also still pretty cheap. 12, on the other hand, is for really, really good runes that you don't see getting much better. This one had attack speed on it, so I thought it was pretty good, along with the fact that it is an attack rune, because it's red, and that means, you know, more damage for the DPS. So of course, with those 2 factors, I got this one to 12, even though it's not really that great. 15 is for whales, okay? 15, don't bother with plus 15 for a long time. Until you have at least plus 12 on like 10 different heroes across the board, don't bother, and you have like tens of millions of gold to throw away. It's just from 12 to 13 is a 15% chance to succeed. It costs 1,130 enhanced materials and 73k gold for a 15% chance. From 14 to 15 is a 5% chance. Also, you get the same linear main stat upgrade. You can see from 9 to 10 we get 6 to 12, from 12 to 13 we get 6 to 12. So it's really, really only for the end game. So yeah, I guess that pretty much does it. I've been rambling on here for an hour and 20 minutes. I really hope to God, for my sake and yours, I can edit this into something watchable, maybe make little slideshows for the different parts of it. I'll try my best, guys, but yeah, I just hope this doesn't come out a mess. If it didn't, if you think this wasn't a complete mess, then drop a like. But yeah, that'll do it. If you have your own advice you want to drop down in the comments below, feel free to do so. Subscribing if you want to, you know, if you haven't yet, it is free after all. Thanks, guys, as always, for watching, and until next time.